I will admit, like, I did wake up in the middle of the night, like, once again with that incredible fear at, like, the aging process, I guess, and the feeling that no matter what I do, I will never make progress in my life. I will never end up where I want to be. That was, like, the mindset that I had at about 4 a.m. I'm doing a casual chat about the new year. Resolutions, I guess. Like, literally, I did not have this idea even like an hour ago. I did not think I would be talking about this. I don't even know what my resolutions are. So here we have some like real time resolution creation. I think there are a couple things I want to say in like as a preface to my discussion of New Year's resolutions. The first is that yes, I always make them. I am always one of those people who is like, I want to improve myself in the new year. I understand the pitfalls of that. I understand that it ends up with me making a lot of promises to myself that I invariably will not keep. This is why also every single year I have my New Year's resolutions, and then I have my January 6th birthday resolutions, because what happens is that every year I will have failed my New Year's resolutions by the time my birthday on the 6th of January rolls around, and I'm like, it's time for a reset already. I wanted to reflect a little bit as well on the final few months of 2024, because like if ever there was an exemplification, an example of the term flop era, I would say that my like final few months of 2024 have truly been that. Like beginning of October, I received word from my long-term freelance employer that my contract would be ending, plunging me into a state of unemployment. That set off a little panic in me, and leading me to try to like make a video every day for the final half of October. That was terrible, and I ended October feeling like a bit burnt out. In November, I was going to try to do NaNoWriMo. And now I actually thought I was setting myself up for success with NaNoWriMo this year, because like obviously if you try to like write a whole novel in the month of November, which is what NaNoWriMo is for the uninitiated, if you try to do that, like I have tried to do that a few times before without any kind of plan, not good. Would not recommend, does not work. However, at the beginning of this November, like I had been thinking about like my novel idea for about like almost a year at that point. And I like had a sense of like who the characters are. I had a sense of what their journeys as characters were going to be. I had a sense of some of the main plot points. I had a sense of some of the conflict that was going to rise. I thought I was like actually setting myself up pretty well to write a novel in a month. And like on that first day of November, wow, I went to this like cozy cafe. I had the most perfect table for writing, like secluded, but I could still see people, but they couldn't see what I was doing, which like made me feel like really just like, ooh, they don't know that I'm writing a novel, but I am. And I wrote more than my required daily word count that day, and I felt so good about myself. And I was like, oh, this is going to be such a good month. Like October was a little difficult. Like I tried to really push myself in ways that I maybe shouldn't have pushed myself, but November is going to be my month. Yeah, okay. So after that first day of November, a lovely day, a Friday, as it happens, we went to Liverpool for the weekend. I had a great time in Liverpool. Like, I love Liverpool as a city. Like, really honestly could see myself living there someday. Like, I think it's really nice. I feel like I say I'm going to move everywhere I go at some point. So, like, take that with a grain of salt. But we went to Liverpool, and I had every intention to, like, spend some time in Liverpool, like, doing my daily NaNoWriMo word count. I didn't. It was just like there was too much going on. I was too busy, and I was like, whatever, when I get back, I will make up for it. And then we got back, and I like did on, I think the 5th of November, the day we got back, I did do my word count as required. And that was election day in the US. And then I woke up to the results on the 6th and was basically kind of thrown off course. Just completely confused about my life, felt like I was losing my mind, felt terrible for like really about an entire week after that, like I got sick. That was basically November. And so yeah, that's my whole like long-winded description of how like the end of 2024 has gone for me. Like not well. I would really enjoy having a 2025 that feels a little more stable. 2025 where I'm still trying stuff, but not in such a frantic way. I don't want to feel anymore like I need to be pushing, rushing to like create something for myself before my time runs out. Like whatever arbitrary clock I've got going, like I don't want to feel that way. Okay, so like with that, I guess I'll get into my resolutions. This is like just real-time riffing on what I think some 2025 resolutions could be. We'll see. And so I guess like harkening back to like past resolutions, I have like for a long time often had like language learning resolutions. I, fun fact, have an undergraduate degree in German for some reason. It was not my plan to like major in German. I just kind of did because like I wound up with enough credits and I'd ended up taking German classes in college because like I was persuaded to. And like that was how it worked. But like, you know, I did enjoy it. Like I'm not saying I regret my German degree. Like I liked studying German leftist politics. I liked studying Berlin as a place. I liked visiting Berlin as a place. Like, I think it's a really interesting city. I think it's got a fascinating history. The division, particularly of Berlin, I find really interesting. So anyway, I like German. I liked learning German. And like, as recently as like 2022, I'm going to say I was pretty good at like keeping up like with my German language knowledge. I would often, when I went on a walk or something, listen to a German podcast, or I would try to read books in German or articles in German. And then in the last like couple of years, I just have fallen off that completely. Like, I don't think I did any real German review this year, like 2024. I bought one book in German that I have not yet read, and that's it. I think that's it. Like, I don't think I listened to a single German podcast. I was just off. I think I'd like to get back into that a bit. And also, I have been for the past couple of years learning Slovak because, wow, another fun fact about me is that I have Slovak ancestry. I am technically eligible for Slovak citizenship through my great-grandparents, and I very much want to claim it. You don't actually have to have proof of Slovak language skills to claim the citizenship by descent, but I decided that if I'm going to try to get citizenship to a country, I should have a knowledge of the language. And so I have been trying to learn. I take weekly classes. Like, I think it's a cool language. It's very difficult. It's like not, the grammar is just like really different from anything I'm like at all familiar with, but I do enjoy learning it. At the same time, I don't study nearly enough. So I'd like to study more Slovak. Third, and I feel like this is like way too ambitious in terms of like language stuff, but will 2025 be the year that I finally try to at least learn some French? It should be. Because also, like, I have a long history with wanting to learn the French language. I think it originates in high school when, you know, I could finally take language classes for the first time. I come from one of those backwards places where you can't take a language until you are in high school. And I thought that I would take French, but then I was persuaded not to because people are like, oh, it's not practical. Spanish would be more practical. It wasn't. I have not used my high school Spanish ever in my life. And then I got to college, and oh, did I mention I ended up taking German? Yeah, so I got to college and I was in this like intensive language program in college where you basically like did like, it was like a good like half of your credit hours went towards like language learning. And so I thought, arriving at college, I'm going to take intensive French. And I even had people say to me, like, you seem like the type of person who would take French. And guess what? I didn't. And why did I not take French? Well, I didn't take French because my advisor, when I was signing up for my freshman year classes, was from the German department. And she made the like German program sound really cool. She was like, oh, you can do like German German theater class, which I did. And she was like, oh, and you can take like study trips to Berlin, which I did. And so like that was all fun. She also told me that if I signed up for French, everyone else in French would have had like 4 years of high school French. And of course, I didn't have any. And she was like, oh, you'd be really behind. And I was like, well, I don't want to be behind from the outset. So I didn't take French. Then fast forward to 2019, 2020, something like that. I was relatively new in New York. I was like having kind of a hard time meeting people, making friends. I had the brilliant idea that I could make friends by taking a French language class. And I went so far as to like go to like a taster session for the French class. I came out of it feeling really excited. I was like, oh my God, this is like going to be so fun. I'm going to take this class. This will be how I both learn French and make friends in New York City. Wow, cool, amazing. And so this was in like January of 2020. About a week or two later, my sister and I had to very abruptly and unexpectedly move out of our apartment and into a new apartment. And in that move, I basically like on, the deposit on the new place and just like costs associated with moving, ended up basically spending all of my money, and I couldn't take French. And I was like, well, crap. And so I didn't take French, and I thought, oh, well, I'll just do it when I financially recover. And then, of course, it was 2020. What happened next? Well, we all know what happened next. So when I did financially recover, I was like, obviously not going to be going to the French language school. I probably could have taken online classes, but like, I really did not want to add another video call to my schedule. Like I really don't like video calls. Like I find them horrible, but I just like, I couldn't face that. And so I didn't. Instead, I tried to learn French on Duolingo. I think that went about as you can predict. Like I spent countless hours on it, but I like now could I even like form a sentence in French? No, I could not. I think that I would like to maybe try to learn at least a little bit of French in whatever way I decide to do so. Maybe that will be independent study. Maybe I will take a class in London or something, and maybe that'll be my way to like make friends in London. Wow, that leads me on to another maybe resolution for 2025, which is like to try to just generally be a better friend, like both be a better friend to my long distance friends who like I do not keep in at all good enough touch with, and also to see if I can try to like make some new friends. Like at least if I could even make one new friend in 2025, I would count that as a success. I'm going to try to do that. I don't want to have any resolutions related to like work and productivity. Like I think I've done enough with that. Like I am already focused enough on trying to be like super productive, and I don't need it. I don't need any more of that. I don't want to like put myself into any like super stressful situations through setting my resolutions. I think my final resolution will be that I want to spend a lot more time in 2025 just kind of being bored. I want a lot more unstructured time in my days. I want to relax a lot more. I want every moment not to be filled with an intended activity. I want to just have time when I can be like, what am I doing? Let me just sit with myself and my feelings and just notice stuff that is going by in the world around me. I want that. That's what I like really, really want. So I think I can do it. I mean, that one actually will be a challenge for me because I have been very much in this productivity mindset of like, I have to be doing something all the time, or I am not living up to my expectations for myself, but I want to be bored a little bit more. I want to go on walks and actually feel like I'm grounded in the present moment, allow myself to be moved by my surroundings. Like that's what I really, really want to start doing because I'm so stressed out, honestly. Like I have come so close to burnout, like just total burnout. Like lately, honestly, 2025, year of boredom, year of languages, year of travel. That's it. Friendship too. Gotta make friends. Really gotta be making friends. Like It's lonely out there, if you haven't noticed. And I don't know if I'm going to hold myself to any of this, but I guess now I've like documented it. It's here. It exists in the world. And I don't know. I'm feeling like pretty optimistic though about what I'm setting out for myself. Like I'm trying to make it fun. Like I'm really trying to like have more fun in my life and like enjoy myself more and like connect with other people, maybe find a sense of community. Like I feel like all of these are, at least I hope, somewhat focused on like that. And I hope you stick around for 2024. I hope you stick around for 2025.